Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. We're creating another video. I got real lengthy on the last one, so I'm breaking this up again. This is additional information on the face and the shaping of it. We brought the face in. We are, what's the name? Structuring the head so it slopes back, and we've also the bib, I'll call it, for the owl, that had been restructured too. So I'll be showing you that on this video, and I hope you get something out of this as well. So we're going to go down with the camera, and we'll get you into that too. So sorry about it. I got a little wordy in the last one, so I broke it up again. So hang in there, and we'll show you the rest. Okay, we're going to continue on with the video, and hopefully I will stay focused again on this portion of it. What I wanted to do, we've have, what's the name, on the face here. It's really large, okay? This is what we did to excavate out the material out to this point. Now I'm going to show you how to modify this, because if you look at the drawing of the owl, you can see the face inward slightly from the edge. And right now we go full tilt straight out to the edges on both sides. So I'm going to show you how to correct that to bring it in focus. So like I said, everything is in stages that brings you in, and we get exactly where we need to be. Now, we had a center line that came right up through the back of the owl here, okay? And I call this the back here, which is this view right here. And we had that center line going up, which we drew. Now, from where the eye's located, if we position ourselves roughly straight across from the eye, if we had like a line that we picked the middle of the eye and came across like that, what I want you to do is measure. It's a little lower than that, but I'll adjust it. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to go from the center line over 7 millimeters, and that is where I want this to come down and around and join. We're actually going to narrow in this face. So we come up to the tuft itself, and that would be like 7 millimeters in, but I'm going to go in about 2 millimeters more, and we're going to pivot out of there, and then we're arcing all the way. There's nothing straight about this. So you're 7 millimeters off of the center line going towards the eye, and we're trying to get this arc in here, and not the one that's all the way out here, okay? So if you look at this, we're more to the inside of this face now, and not so far to the actual sides of it. We're coming in a little bit. So I'm going to heavy this up and bring this down to join up to where we were. And I'm going to erase out the one we had in there originally, okay? So this is the new outline of the face. Now I'm going to come over to this side, and we have that center line going right on up. And I'm going to ask you to line this up with about the middle of the eye and have it perpendicular to this line, and then come out about 7 millimeters and put a dot there. So what I'm going to ask you to do is come in maybe a millimeter or two more than where we ended, and we're going to spin that to the 7 millimeters. So from the center line to this dot is 7 millimeters and not out to where we had it originally. Then I'm coming around and I'm swinging this so that you could see a little bit of material on this side and a little bit of material on this side. This is still pretty close. Let's see if I got that right dimension. Yeah, I'm right on there, pretty close to it. So this is the new one, which is 7 millimeters off the center line, and then I swing it in. I'm going to take the old one, which is the outside one, and get rid of that. Okay, so that's the start. And then, if I got this correctly, we were saying from the bottom of the beak down, we want 15 millimeters. And I hope I have that. Something tells me I don't. I'm going to do this. I'm measuring from the bottom of the beak on the center line of the head here now. I'm going to measure 15 millimeters and put a dot. Now, the same arc we have in here, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm coming all the way out to here. Watch me here. I'm going to almost mimic the arc, and then we swing it out. Almost, let's see if I get it right. Let's see if I have this right. I'm going to measure it on my other one, and it's about, looks like 22 millimeters out. So if I did this correctly, from the center line over, here's 10, 20, 22 millimeters. So it should land right about here. I'm a little further out than it should. So I'm going to come up right to there, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to come out 22 millimeters to the right, put a dot up there, and I'm going to swing this down from here right to there. Okay, and the center one will disappear somewhat. Just heavy this one up. This is the one that counts. Now, let me start shaping some of this so that you can see exactly what I'm trying to get at. I'm going to come in with the fat flame. Still in range here because I tend to drift a lot. I'm going to get this going. Okay, on this new arc that we have underneath, I'm going to come in and undercut, leaving the line there, and I'm going to go down about a 6, I want to say about a millimeter down, maybe a millimeter and a half. Okay, I'm going to go through here to here. So we go down into that valley a millimeter and a half, and that pencil line that we had in there is still there. I'm going to try to get this in here and this right here. Now we have a two channel, we made a channel in here And we have an edge on the outside here, right here. I'm going to highlight the edge so that you can see it. And I have the edge right on the pencil line. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to blend everything away back into the body. So it blends away so that there's no remnant of that channel edge on this side. Okay. And like I said, we were about a 1.5 millimeters down, which is roughly, for those who are doing fractions, about a 1/16 down. And I blend everything away so that there is no indication that there was a channel edge there. If I see it, then I have to go after it and blend it back. So all that is gone now. Now, what I'm going to do is, let me come in here. I'm going right into that valley now. And I'm putting that line in there. And I'm going to roll that edge down. I'm sort of rolling the edge this way towards the top of the head. And that one we had before is going to soften away too. Okay, so I'm coming all the way around. That's it. I don't know if I got enough depth on the outside, so I'm going to undercut a little bit more here. Maybe I was a little shallow. I'll blend that away. And then what you have to remember too is that everything from here is going to be sloping down and in. So, you know what? I'm going to go a little deeper out here. I think I said 1.5 millimeters, maybe 2 millimeters. So let me undercut that just a little bit more. I will redo exactly what I had just done, and we're doing it in stages here to take it down. I think we need a little more depth. So I'm going to put my pencil mark down in that valley. And again, I'm going to come out and get rid of that edge that's towards the tail end and blend this. And I have to blend the material away so that this pops up a little bit. And you work it back so it's a gentle flow back into the body. You don't want to do any real heavy digging. And again, I will have to review this video to make sure I'm in camera, and I really blew it where I had to do on the front end of this video a redo of what I did on the video before this, so I apologize again. Just didn't observe enough at the time. So I'm working this material away so that you still have an edge on this side that's coming around here on the inside here. Now, to get rid of that edge, I'm going to roll this way. So I'm going to come in right here. I'm not going on to the face. I'm coming around. And I'm rolling that from that pencil line up and around. And we get a nice rollover. Now, from here, I want to have everything sort of sloping back. So what we had in there originally will start softening in, and we have this sloping down towards the beach. And I'm not taking a lot out. I'm just taking enough to get rid of that crease we had. Let me show you again. Here's where we're at. I see in rolling an edge, I still have a little bit left over, so I'm just trying to highlight what I missed. And at the same time, I'm trying to get this to come over on a roll and then head downward in towards the beak here, like this, all the way around. So here we go. I'm going to come back this way. And again, I am not touching the face, at least not down here. Okay, so I'm going to come around here, come around here. Now I'm going for this inner edge here, and I'm softening that back. It's a rollover coming into this slope going down towards the beak. So I'm trying to get everything to roll over and then flow down. And I'm not taking hardly anything out except to get a nice rollover and then down, going down. And just about touching this. I think we're at a point where we're in pretty good shape there. Now, I said to you from the center line back to here, our new dimension is 7 millimeters, and you're forward a little bit, and you swing down and you join up with the face here. So this face comes around, and the same way on this side. We had it out here, now we moved it back 7 millimeters. This was about 2 millimeters more. We swing back to that, come around, and we join this edge. It comes right on up here. Now, for this edge out here, we're going to undercut it now. So here we go. I'm going to undercut this maybe 1 millimeter down. Not a lot. So it's going to stand out about 1 millimeter. I'm trying to blend all the material back. Okay. And I'm going to come around the front here, undercut all of this, leaving the pencil line. And I don't want to bang into this if I could possibly help it. This was our shoulder in here that came around right in here. I'm going to ask you to stay off of that if you can and clean it up without banging that. So I'm coming in here gently, and I'm getting a rise and fall right on that line. Okay. Now, I'm going to come in here just a little bit more. And it's almost enough that if you can get your nail and you get a little bit of a stop there, that's all you need to do. It's not like it's real deep. It isn't. Okay? And then once you get that, you're softening the rest of it away. The edge that is there goes this way. You still have an edge there, but what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to mark it out again. Here we go. I'm going to go from here all the way up and around. I'm going to just soften that ever so slightly. I want it there. And I'm just like giving it a slight roll. Ever so slight. Okay? Just to get that inside edge. It's still there. If I get my nail in there, it's going to let me not stop now because of the roll, but it's raised all along this line. Okay? You don't have to come into here because we already done that. So I'll clean this up right here. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to undercut this from here. Go this way with it. Come right on up to here. Right up. Keep the pencil line. Right up to there. And I'm not going deep. Probably about millimeter and a half. And there's the bottom of the channel. It's coming across here. I see I missed a little bit right in here when I was doing this portion down here, so I'm just going to smooth that out. But once you move your piece sometime, the light, the way it hits it, you think you got it. I see another one over here every time. So it's little finessing, just to get the edges away. Now, you have all this edge sticking out from undercutting it. So I'm going to ask you to come back and blend all this away so that face area comes and gets raised up. Okay? So that's going to be a little higher. And the material is getting taken away and blend it back into the head. And now I'm going to come in this way. And here we go again. I'll run the pencil line down into the valley, all the way up and over to here. And I'm going to soften this ever so slightly. I'm just going to get slight rollover right there. So that it's like a rise and fall right there, but it's very little. And I blend that back into the face. Okay? So now we've brought this in on this side, and we brought this in on this side. And I'm just trying to see if my face is equal on both sides. So one way to check that is you can lay your center line like through here, and then measure to see how far this is out to here. And it looks like I have about 27 millimeters. And if I go this way, 27 millimeters is going to be here. So for some odd reason, I got wider here. So I'm going to, here's my 27. So what I'm going to do is adjust this to come around like this to the 27 and turn it in. So this comes down and it sweeps in a little bit more. So this is what I'm saying to you. So follow me on this. I'm holding my centimeter lined up with my center, and then I'm measuring this way, and right to this edge here, it comes out to about 27. So you go 10, 20, excuse me, maybe if I'm looking straight down, I'm sorry, it's closer to, yeah, about 28. And if I go this way and measure, 28 is going to fall right about here. So I needed to take this in a little bit more like this. Let me take that one out. So what I'm saying is from the center to where this bends and comes around, from here to here is about 28 millimeters, and it should be exactly the same from the center out to about here is about 28 millimeters. So to keep you in line so that the face looks balanced from one side to the other. So I need to come in a little bit more because I didn't have that arc right. That's a check. So I'm bringing this in up to the pencil line. And undercutting that right at the pencil line, which now the two of them start to look balanced better. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the one side look like the other side. Now, like I always do, I run my pencil line down in the valley, which comes around here and swings up. And I want to soften this down to the pencil line. Okay? Now, the other thing I want to do, and we're now starting to look the same from one side to the other on looking straight at it, okay? It's pretty balanced. Now, what I want you to do is come back in. Let me give you another measurement here. Is from the center of the head out. Remember, we came up 1/8 of an inch, a millimeter above the eye, and we had undercut that to get this tuft in and stuff like that. So I'm going to run a line like just off the beak here, not quite at the top. I'm going to come up, I'm going to go straight across like we were creating that tuft, coming over. And I'm coming out to a distance from the center out as the crow flies. It's going to be 20 millimeters. So the 20 millimeters will come right about to here. So I have this coming across here, coming down here, and then I'm going to come up, if I give you a dimension here, it's about 3 millimeters up all the way over. I'm duplicating the exact same swing, like right at the middle of the center line, above, right on top of the beak here. and I'm coming around, and they're 3 millimeters apart. You're coming across, and then you're turning right at that, from as the crow flies, I call it, straight out 20 millimeters this way, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So you come in here, you come up 1 millimeter from the eye, go straight across, and when you come out 20, I already measured this, so I'm going to come around. You're keeping the distance here of 3 millimeters right back, so you have something that looks like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to undercut all along here, and we're only going to undercut it maybe 1.5 millimeters. Okay, so follow me here. I'm going to come in on the top, not the bottom, the top here. I'm going to come in right at the middle here. I'm undercutting all along the pencil line, leaving the pencil line. And I'm not going deep. A little slip there and come around. So I want to raise this up about 1.5 millimeters. Okay. So even though the pencil line's there, I have this channel behind it. So I'm going to run the line down in there so you can see that, hopefully. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to get my point right up to the center line above the beak. And come across. And I'm going to run my pencil line down, and then it swings around, okay? So here's what I want to do. All of this edge that I created on this side, I want to soften away, okay? So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to sort of flatten until I get down to the pencil line that I have in that valley and blend it back. Should happen real quick because we didn't go that deep, okay? And you get the little rise and fall right there. And you do have an edge on top still, but we're blending the other edge closer to the top of the head here. We're blending that away so that we have a rise in this. I call it, it's a group of feathers that are up here that I'm trying to accentuate, just like these down in here, but it's a small grouping. So I'm coming in here like this, and I'm undercutting that. Now, the other thing I want to do is I'm going to go back with the pencil again, put that right in there, and I want to undercut around here just so it has a rise all the way across. I didn't really go after that too much, but I will. Excuse me. My hat's banging into the camera again. Hope I'm in vision here. I'm just coming around here. Not taking much off, because I'm, like I said, 1.5 millimeters. It's very small. So I just want to get a little slight rise. Now, I'm going to come in here. That's the edge. That's the edge, and it comes around here. I haven't done anything on the bottom, and that's fine. Now, I'm going to get, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's an edge that is created when I undercut it, and an edge over here. I'm going to soften that towards the inner side of here, so it's ever so lightly. I'm just touching it. See how fast it comes? It's just that. Just a light touch. Because you didn't go that deep. And it'll bring that up. It's just a soft little touch. And now you got a raised section right in there. Okay? So that's good right there. And if you have any edges, just lightly touch it to round it over. Okay? You don't want any edges at all. You could just, it's a real light touch. And you have to work at that a little bit too, I guess. Now, the other thing I want to do is, what happens is, and I'm going to show you on one that I have gone a ways. What happens is, in here, this head is down, and we're going to make this like the high point, and it's like a little bit of a valley in here, but at the same time, it's rising up to that in here and then turning. So we're going to come in right down the middle, and I'll put the center line going through the back end of here as well, like this. And I'm going to start again with the fat flame. I'm going to undercut this a little bit more so it stands out, and I'm lowering this area. I'm sort of like trying to flatten it. At the same time, I'm going to blend it. I want to take material right on up so that this is like sloping up. And when we get to the top, between the two tufts, I want you to stop, but blend it away nicely, okay? So I'm coming in here. And you could use the back of the bit sometime. And when you're up in close here, you need the front of the bit so you don't go banging into everything else. But what you do is you get a nice slope going back, okay? Now, if some people are adept, you could use the hogging bit to do this, and it gets you there faster. But the reason why I'm showing you with the ruby's more forgiving. And a lot of times, you can take out more material than you want with the hogging bit, unless you know where you're going. Now, I think I've got a nice slope coming up to about the top of the head now. So, and what I was saying to you before, if your head is still squared up, I see like a corner here. Remember we had corners that ran here, it ran here, here, and here. We're still fighting them. So in the back here, you do have a flat on the center line. And then about here over, this edge should be rolling more. And even this here, there's like a corner right in here. And it should be flat to about here. And then from here to here, it should be rounded. So I'm going to go back with the hogging bit. And I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can get another bit. That last one was making some noise. I'll put this one in and see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. This corner, I put a pencil line in there, so I'm going to go right down the corner. I'm not trying to touch the tufts at all. I'm not even there. I'm away from it. I'm trying to round this head. So I come down right on that corner, and then I roll it to the right and roll it to the left. And you're blending so you're not making gouges. Notice all my stuff seems like it blends away. At least that's what I'm trying to do, is get it all blended away. Okay? So I think I got that nicely rolling over now. Now I'm going to come and attack this corner. Go to the right, go to the left. And as much as it seems like I'm attacking it, I'm not really taking a lot out. I'm really not. I'm getting some dust off of here, but not as bad as you would think. And if I took maybe a 16th out, maybe a little bit more than that right on the corner itself, but everything else is blended away. I need to keep this shape in shape, if you can get what I mean. So it has a nice roll, it doesn't have more bumps. Okay, and if you create a bump, I use this back and forth motion, and it seems to level it out somewhat. I'm not pressing hard, and it gets me there. If you press hard with these bits, you can take a lot off real quick. And if that's what you want, that's what you do, okay? So, let's see. I think we have everything we want to do now for the face. We took these out. We raised this area right in here so that these, I'll call it a brow. It isn't a brow, but it's feathers the grouping that come in right in here. Oh yeah, one other thing. All of the material has to slope down to the eye. So if you have something like right in here, so there's where we don't want to hit the bottom of this grouping here, but we want to slope down into the eye. So if there's any material that isn't sloping nicely, I go back to the fat flame. Let me show you this. And I'll do this real quick. I just get it like this. I come in here and I gently do not want to touch the beak. And I want to come up to that line, but everything is like flowing into the eye. Okay, all along here. Hope you can see that well. And it's just a little bit of a touch because we're almost there. You know, we've been doing everything right so far. You don't have a lot to take out. You're floating up to this line. You could see I probably just touched it with the bit. And everything is flowing down, even in the front here. I don't want to touch I'm going to try to stay off the beak, and I'm just coming in and sloping everything so it looks like it's getting concave, going right down to the eye. Everything's flowing inward, okay? And you should be able to get that fairly smooth there. So that's what we're trying to achieve, okay? You have these, we lowered this a little bit. We brought these in from the edge, 7 millimeters on both sides. And we introduced this grouping, and we have a sloping back. And then we rounded it over. And I think I may need to touch just a little bit up top here to soften it out, but I'll do that so that when we're go to the next stage on the next video, I'll take care of that. But you want to be able to have this flow down and around, and it's pretty close. There's a little bit of an edge right up here, and I'll just take that out with the fat flame, okay? And I'll use the back end of the bit to do most of the work. So I hope you got something out of this one. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you ever need anything, or if you could, besides giving me a thumbs up, if you can subscribe to my channel, and if you did, and if you have friends that may be interested and want to try it too, if you can pass my channel information on, I'd appreciate that as well. And I'll see you on the next video. And if you need patterns or kits or anything else like these, I have them available. The Bird, I have a catalog for some of the products I handle as well. So give me in my email or in the comments section of the video here. I'll get that information to you and see if we can't help you out. I want to thank everybody again for getting me over the top on the subscribers end, but I can always use more. And if, like I said, if there's people you know and you can pass that on, that'd be great. If you enjoy what you're doing with me, that's super too. I want to also congratulate one of the subscribers sent me a picture of his Carolina Wren, and it was gorgeous. So I just want to pass that out. If anybody is doing any work and you would like to get some pictures to me or some questions on any of this, feel free to contact me. I would love to help you out wherever you may need it. So again, thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next video, and hopefully we stay in the frame of the camera. See you now.